What is going on, guys? This is Versus All Gaming with my review of Strike the Blood episode 20, and this is the second time this week that a series has sent me on a field trip. First it was Tokyo Ravens, and now we have Strike the Blood. That ending, I cannot believe it happened like that, and even though, Asagi could be a little bit annoying at times, I still did not want her to die. I'm hoping that, by some way, she is still holding on, but it's definitely not looking good for her. So the episode starts with somebody breaking into this company. Now, at the moment, the name escapes me, but we all know, what's it called. And so we have this new enemy appearing here, and his name is Ko, and we see that he actually has the power where he could turn anything he wants into metal, as we saw him turn a soldier into metal as well. And so at one point he actually breaks into this room where we have Kensei, who we all know is Kanasei's uncle. And so apparently this guy is a descendant of a person called Nina Adelard. And this person, or Ko here, he actually wants to take this keepsake from his master, and it's called this hardcore, and it's this red orb that we see that's kind of like a prized possession of Kensei, and he had like in his glass case. But then we see that Ko here, he does not waste time, and he actually attacks Kensei. And so I thought, right there he was going to be dead. But to my surprise, he actually survived that attack, and we found out later on in the episode, but he's in critical condition. So after that, we go to Yukina, who was taking this bath, and we see that she sensed something. And so right away, she grabs her lens and she goes to check it out. And we see that it's this crow, and it's a Shikigami. And so apparently, she had this barrier around the apartment, and she was surprised that the bird was able to break through it. But apparently, it leads her this note, and we don't know what it says exactly, but we do find out eventually, what it says. But then we go to Yukina, Kanasei, Kojo's sister, and Kojo, and they're all out shopping because they got Kojo to come out here and carry all their bags. And after he did all that, they were like treating him to ice cream. And so we learned that all the girls here, or at least these three girls, they are gonna go away on a training camp. Now, we're not really sure, what the training camp is, but we actually do learn that Kojo, he actually won his training camp last year. But then, the girls had went to this store that, was selling like bras and panties. And of course, Kojo wasn't gonna go in there, but Kanasei, she actually stepped it up and was being a little bold here, and she wanted Kojo, to come in because she wanted to know what he liked. And I was surprised that, she like stepped up and asked him that, because characters like her are just way too shy to ask that. But not Kanasei, she's like breaking the mold here. But then we have Ko appearing once again, and he called himself a seeker of truth. And so he turns his hand into metal, and he tries to attack Kojo, but it doesn't work. And so right now, he wasn't like using other means, to attack him. And for some reason, Kojo did not want to bring out a familiar. But I'm guessing it was because people were around. But, they were getting so scared because Ko was out there attacking them. Like, they all ran away. And right before Kojo could really do anything, we have Yukina once again appearing. And not only did she fend this guy off, but she also cut his arm off. But we see that this guy, he can touch any metal, and it basically rejuvenates his body, as we've seen that he fixed his arm that was just cut off not too long ago. But obviously there's no way he can handle a sword shaman and a poor progenitor, so he quickly leaves, but not before, making a distraction so that they couldn't follow him, and he turned this tree into metal. And I'm not gonna lie, that right there was like definitely pretty impressive. I did find that to be pretty cool. And so this guy is an alchemist, and of course Kojo wants to know more about this person, so he actually goes to Natsuki, but she's not there. So he actually Astrete. And basically, an alchemist is somebody that basically wants to reach a godhood level, but of course not exactly, because I'm pretty sure it's impossible, at least in this series or in this universe, for somebody to become a god. But if you can become immortal and and have an immense power, then you'll be close to godhood. And that basically what these alchemists here in the series, that right there is their goal. And so now Kojo had to go to another source of information, and he goes to Asagi. And when she actually, look at information on this guy, because apparently he has some ties to this monastery, and we all know that this place had been destroyed. And not only that, Kanase actually, goes there a lot, and that is where she like raised these cats. And we actually learned that the one that destroyed it was actually Ko. And so when Kojo was like gonna skip classes so that he can go there and check it out, Asagi, just had to tag along. But at one point when they were walking, out of nowhere, we see Kojo get like blasted by some wind, and it just catches him off guard. But before he like really react, he has to protect Asagi, and so he pulls her down, and he's on top of her. But during that time, one of her earrings fell off, and that earring here plays a major part in this episode. I was wondering, why would they focus on that so much? Because it's just a simple earring; it should not be that important. But then we have Natsuki, she's a parent, and she's working with these, elite guards that we saw before. And they're basically, checking this place out, and Kojo and Asagi should not be out here. And so they like kind of make a deal where Kojo won't tell anybody about this, so that the girls will like go on the trip and they'll be away. Because Ko seemed really interested in Kanase, so it's good to like keep her away. And we also learned that, Yukina, because she go on the training camp, she'll be reliever of her duties, so that way, she won't have to worry about Kojo and watching over him. But she was definitely concerned about this, and we saw before that she was like really worried, because after they had that little scuffle with Ko, her top came open, and of course Kojo saw her body. But back to the main part here, we have Natsuki and Kojo. They're like making some deal, and basically the deal is that Kojo will have to attend these classes. And I believe that they aren't going to tell anybody about this except for, the three here. But we see that these guards, they really don't last long here. As we saw Ko and these three other men, they are now appeared, and they're like inspecting this place. And we see this like metal tablet of this woman. And this is basically, what they're after. I believe it's called Wise Men Blood. But then we have Yukina and Kojo. They're actually, traveling to this place. Because Yukina was like so worried about Kojo, and she made a promise not to drink anybody else's blood, and it's like she's just so jealous about that. But then we have Kojo making her promise that she'll enjoy herself as well. So then they go to like this hotel district, and of course Kojo is getting like the wrong idea, but Yukina used this like spell, I guess, where she teleports them to like some other dimension, and we find ourselves now in front of a shop. And when they go in there, we see Sayaka, but it's not actually that. It's like it's a Shinigami copying her, and that was like pretty cool actually. But we learned that the person that runs this place, it's a cat, but more importantly, it's familiar because the real person like still in some forest. So I'm pretty sure she can't be in a shop and a place at the same time. So she used this cat familiar to like interact with people. And so now we have her looking at Yukina's lance, and we learn that this lance here, it kind of has a mind of its own, because it did accept her, but at the same time it was worried, because I believe that the lance said that she relies on her eyes way too much, and that could be a huge problem. And then what else? Oh, and then we also have her thanking Kojo for saving Aurora. I'm probably like butchering that name, but you all know who that is. And we see that when Kojo thinks about her, he has like these painful memories coming back. So clearly, that is not a subject he really wants to talk about. But then we have Ko and these three men. They use the hardcore, as they called it, to turn this like metal slab into blood, or or into some kind of liquid. And we see that this man, he actually wants to use the power from this to get revenge on the Lions King organization for like firing him. So basically, he wants payback, and we see that it is working somewhat. But the original person here, Nina Audillard, her consciousness is still alive, and she's trying to devour him. But we see that thanks to all these fake cores and the real hardcore, that should not be possible. But we actually learned that this right here was like part of Cold Master plan. And not only does he turn his little bodyguards here into metal and cut them to pieces, we see that Nina, or her consciousness, it was able to absorb this man. And so now we have her, kind of coming back. But to make things worse, we have Asagi here, who's actually out there back in the area that she had no business being in, looking for this earring that she lost. And the reason why she wanted to find it so badly is because Kojo gave it to her as a gift. And of course now she wants to find it because it means so much to her. And so she calls Kojo while he's still at the shop, asking him to come out there and help. But sadly he can't do that. And of course, he's warning her to get out of there. And he was like willing to do anything for that to happen. Because Asagi here, being a little sneaky, she's trying to get him to buy her a ring. And of course, he was gonna be fine with that, because even he said that anything at this point would be fine. But then we have like this massive blob known as Nina. It's now, destroyed the place entirely. And we have Ko here, she's looking at her. And then we see, that the blob here, I don't know if they're part of a co-plan, but we see, try to attack him, but he deflects it, and it actually attacks Asagi, and actually out of nowhere, we just see all this blood. And of course now, that right there is definitely not a good sign, because we know that she's human, so clearly she cannot recover from this. And we see her now apologizing to Kojo, and it's like she died. And so now in this episode, we should get a major character death. And I'm pretty sure it's one that we did not see coming, because if Asagi wasn't an idiot, this not what happened. So now I'm definitely worried here. Is she really going to die for good? Because she is a main character, and she has been very important to the story. So if we lose her, it is definitely going to be a huge shock. But like I said, this episode, it was definitely good. It sent me on another field trip, so I definitely enjoyed it a lot. I give the episode an amazing rating, because that right there is basically, what it deserves. But as always, please do not forget to like the video and subscribe. I would love to hear what you guys thought about this episode, because, I do want to hear your opinions on this, so leave me comments down below. But as always, you guys take it easy, and I will see you all next time.